And then there were three. Anemic.
Suprema roll call.
Suprema roll call. Suprema roll call. Let's make it sound like 9 people.
Suprema roll call.
Cecily's arrived.
Yeah.
And she be strong.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just messed up my own roll call. Fuck! Roll call. Suprema. Suprema. That's how it is. Suprema. Suprema roll call.
My name is Sugar.
Yeah.
Been waiting so long
Yeah.
to profess my love for
Yeah.
Cecily von Ziegazar.
Suprema.
Suprema roll call.
Suprema cut. Suprema roll call.
It's like Ian
Yeah.
with Cecily.
Yeah.
Damn, I messed up too. I was gonna say horny to you. What is going on?
So call. It's
Suprema.
Is it Monday? Suprema roll call. Suprema.
Okay, now it's me.
Suprema roll call.
Well, I'm Cecily.
Yeah.
Feel kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Hope I don't ruin this show.
Yeah.
Before it's even begun.
Roll call.
She killed us.
Suprema.
Suprema roll call. Suprema. Wait a minute.
Suprema roll.
Stop the theme.
Should we?
No.
We're breaking our own rules.
Stop the theme.
You can
Stop the theme.
just mute it. Yeah.
Yeah. Or mute it. We just got murdered on our own. This is some Nas Jay-Z shit where like Eminem murdered us on our own
I feel
shit.
good. I said
Yeah, you did
Cecily
good.
von
That was-
Ziegazar.
It was
I
good.
think you kind of fumbled.
I'm
the
good. I'm
All right,
good.
can you pronounce it fully? Did
My
he?
name or Von Ziegler?
That ain't her name. Steve just.
Oh, I thought you were
No.
referencing a middle name or something.
No, Cecily von Ziegazar, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
I don't know your middle
She's
name.
not.
Cecily.
Oh, it's
So-
not that.
That's not her. She
Okay.
wrote, Cecily von Ziegazar wrote the novels that became Gossip Girl.
Right.
Wait, how do you know that, Steve?
I looked up famous Cecilys to try and get some ideas
You
for
really
this.
be doing your roll call.
Did you know this before he referenced
I
this? Or did this
did.
take you by surprise as well?
No, I mean it took. I forgot who she. There's a couple Cecilys.
Yeah, there's not that many
Yeah.
in history, to be honest with you.
No,
I
my
didn't even
grandfather
know-
was Cecil. That's why I'm Cecily.
And what is Cecily? Well, I don't know Cecily.
Well, yeah, this is a sad low for us on Questlove Supreme because messing up our theme is such a rarity.
Yeah,
But
I'm
it's been
just
3
saying,
years.
You know, it
We
makes
never
me
did
feel
it.
very comfortable. I will say, I feel it
bet.
makes me feel at home.
You did awesome.
Okay, well, I'll give you that point advantage, Steve. I
Yeah,
thought you
leave
just...
me out of this. We messed up thing.
Me in a mirror messed it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Anemic Supreme, brought to you by the only one, Questlove. We're at iHeartRadio, streaming on all formats that you get your podcast goodies. We have Laia in the house, and we have Sugar Steve. Shout out to Unpaid Bill. And
Yeah.
Fonticolo's out getting cigarettes still. He said he returned one day. Yeah, we're waiting.
And Boss Bill. We're like three legs.
Oh, Boss Bill, that's right.
We're
yeah.
like half a six-pack.
Yeah. So, what rules can we break now that
We can
Boss
eat. We could do. Let me
Can
stop.
we
I'm
eat?
supposed. No, I can't. I'm supposed to be in charge, so I got to show some order. So no, guys, we're sticking by the rules. We talk to Cecily and we don't go into the
Bill? So I
rabbit
can't
hole.
eat my breakfast right now. Like,
Well, knowing you got some little bird seeds. So what you got to do?
nah, it's good. It's good. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, our guest today, I'm very, very honored to have. When I mention my place of employment, I refer to it as 30 Rock University. I consider it a college, a post-grad school. I consider it life lessons. And it's always an honor to pick the brain of fellow 30 Rockians, especially those that are in the upper echelon of the 8th floor of the institution, otherwise known as Saturday Night Live. I will say in the last 8 years, our guest today has given me some of my favorite moments on the show ever. I try not to stalk her DMs with praise over that night's performance, but I'm the nerd that's always like somewhere in the audience judging every show. Your characters alone, I mean, your Stormy Daniels, your Melania Trump, your Lin-Manuel
Yeah.
that's why I'm really mad that freaking Bill's not here. Bill's a fellow Hamiltonite. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the original Cecily Strong.
Oh, thank you.
At the
So
wheel.
happy to be here.
Yes, we're very happy to. How are you today?
I'm all right. I'm cold. It's cold. This weather is bad.
It is hell, especially where we work.
Yeah.
Getting to work. Are
I think
you
of
a
it like
real
American
New Yorker?
Gladiator around this time of year, like trying to get into that building.
It is. Yeah, it's the hardest thing in the world. I tried.
They're firing at us. You know how they did that on American Gladiator?
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. How do
Very
you?
familiar.
Are you a subway to work person? Or are you a walk to work
I'm
person?
a walk to work.
Oh, so see. Oh God, you
better
followed
not
the
fall.
rules. Wow. Okay, so when I first started working here, I naturally thought, okay, I'll move to Brooklyn or whatever.
Yeah.
And my management's like, nah. If it was up to them, like Steve once joked, like they want you to live at 31 Rockefeller Plaza, just just in case, because it's almost like being on call to be
Yeah.
a doctor or whatever. Like you have to immediately.
And just as important.
Yeah, it's no. Well, it is.
Actually, you, Cecily, yeah, what you do. I mean, you too,
Wow.
but I was just saying that what she does, like,
Yeah.
it's an institution. So, yeah, it is.
I feel like an on-call doctor. Like you pretty much, if they call you, you have to be there within like a half hour for anything. I don't know if it's that way all year round for you though. I mean, once the season's over.
Oh, yeah,
then
no. Then they're not allowed.
you have something called a break.
Yeah.
Oh, you have two phones then?
Yeah. They don't get the other number.
Wow.
Shout out to two phones. See, I told you.
I'm kidding. But I do have a burner number. That's kind of exciting.
Oh my God, you're like a character on The Wire.
Yeah.
Did you get it from the bodega?
No, it's on my phone. But it's because I use so many apps, like ordering things. I don't leave my
Wait,
house.
time out. Okay, so I'm about to reveal my age. You're telling me that I can get a burner number and still on my phone?
Absolutely. For free.
And have two numbers
Yeah.
on this phone.
Yeah.
Now, I know you could do that with, like, is that like the Google phone number thing you're saying? No?
It's similar, but it's its own app. And you can just choose
So, like,
your,
if a Tinder date goes good, then you can give your real number.
exactly.
And if it doesn't,
It's
then-
great not having to give out your real number. Yeah.
Well, see, now's the point. My fake phone was my bat phone was once the coveted phone, and then for some reason now I've given everybody my bat number, so my real number, like no one calls that anymore.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I dubbed that mom phone. So.
That 681 number.
My it's mainly
Hey man, stop
Grubhub.
getting my number out.
Sorry. We learned quick. He was like, he ain't answering this. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's mom phone. Only talk to my mother on that phone. Okay, so what got you here? Where were you born?
I was born in Springfield, Illinois.
Okay, so to outsiders of the Midwest, us East Coasters, in our minds, it's either Chicago or not Chicago.
Right. So it's definitely not Chicago.
How not Chicago is it?
It's very not Chicago. I mean, I only was there for a year and a half.
Okay.
So I can't say I remember much of Springfield. It's the capital of Illinois.
Well,
Pretty exciting.
It's also
we
where
know,
the Simpsons
but-
live.
And I actually, I saw that's, I think that's where Barack Obama announced Joe Biden as his VP in 2000.
and you were there to see it?
You know it. Drove
Wow.
3.5 hours.
I see.
And Abraham
And freezing.
Lincoln.
And Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
You're on a roll. Gossip Girl.
I looked up famous Abrahams. And, it came up.
So you only lived there a year and a half, and then
Right.
where
And
did you
then
move?
right outside of Chicago,
Okay.
Oak Park.
Are you okay? Anybody that's
Dan
from
Castellaneta. Did you say Simpsons?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said because the
He's from
Springfield.
Oak Park.
Oh, so that's why Springfield. Then.
Well, no,
Oh.
that was just a weird
Okay.
coincidence.
segue. So yeah, there's two questions about Chicago. One, as a resident, are you sort of dismayed at the sort of hashtag "What about Chicago" stain that's on the city right now, or at least the kind of the cloud that looms over the idea of Chicago? Like, what is your version of Chicago?
It's weird because I grew up, I did a lot of theater in Chicago as a kid. And then my dad worked in PR in Chicago and did a lot for the Democratic Party. And again, when I think of Chicago, it's all like Obama for me because that's the years I was there. I think it's always, and I have a good friend, my little sister, she's my fake little sister from the South Side. So, of course, her experience was very different than mine growing up. But I think...
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I just we have to acknowledge, like, I only thought, like, black people had, like, play cousins and fake family members.
Unless it's in the program. Is she an official little sister?
No.
Okay, then yeah, you're right.
There were
yeah.
quotations. There were air quotes.
Okay.
I was like, oh, white
Yeah.
people got play cousins too. Okay, good.
No, you know what it was like? I met her. I lost a friend to a drug overdose, and she lost her older brother, which is part of Chicago too. And it was kind of like we had like the universe gave
Y'all just met
gave
up
us
when-
to each other.
And
Yeah.
you're friends to this day?
Oh yeah, she's
that's
coming
good.
this weekend.
How much younger is she?
She's she feels like she's like 15 years younger sometimes, but she's about 5 years younger.
So you're motherly.
I'm an older. I'm not motherly.
You're the designated driver?
Never designated driver. Just older sister.
Oh, okay. I see. Actually, what I want to know, I don't think we've interviewed anyone in the comedy world from Chicago on this show. I don't think we have. What is it? Why
Does
is
this have something to do with mustard and ketchup and hot dogs?
no? That's letter. I want to know why ketchup is not allowed on.
You know, I don't even eat hot dogs or red meat, so I'm not the one to ask. But I do know you're not supposed to.
Yeah,
Ketchup
like
on
you'll
hot
get
dogs?
kicked
No,
out
mustard, only mustard, and whatever. What is it?
I've
Relish
heard some talk, and I believe that this goes back to the Hines family from nearby Pittsburgh, sort of having a beef with what's the billionaire family from Chicago, the Pietzer.
Pritz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that the beef starts there. So when you order,
But then Heinz bought the mustard too.
well, maybe then it was like, okay, well,
Yeah,
I don't want to be the person like spreading false propaganda. What I do know is that you get laughed out of any establishment if ketchup.
I think it's just like Chicago has a couple things they just like to be stubborn about, I think.
Well, your pizza sucks. Not you, but I'm just saying.
You don't like Chicago pizza?
I mean, it's going to kill you.
I've done some research.
Most of the food there will kill you, but
Yeah,
it's so
like,
good.
Well, cheesesteaks
Yeah.
will kill us too. So let it, you know.
okay, yeah.
we're not-
There's
we're not
really
being
good. I will
judgmental.
say it's my favorite city to eat. Some of the best restaurants I've ever, even just like a small, like little Greek restaurant, little Thai. It's all so good.
So as of this taping, for some reason, I've been booked in Chicago every weekend for the last 5 weekends.
Great time to be there. Really? Gorgeous weather.
Yeah. No. Actually, no. Weird enough, the last time
You're jinxing yourself now, I will say. You're going to be stuck there.
I will say that both times in the winter it was like 59 degrees for some reason.
Oh.
I came dressed for like, all right, where's it at? Where's the cold? Where's the cold? And I was sweating. Like it was spring weather.
I mean,
So let's hear for
it's
global
probably
warming.
unpredictable. Yeah, but it's the worst winters.
Oh,
I
know.
have like nightmares about it,
I know.
thinking about it.
I know. We know. But I will say that I tried. Okay, they told me not to call it the Illuminati. Illuminati's.
Oh,
pizza.
Malnati's.
Okay, but
I love Malnati's.
there has to be a connection to the Illuminati.
Is that a food?
It's a
Illuminati's
really good
a
pizza. And I will say, I know Willie Malnati. He has a podcast now too. He's in New York.
About pizza?
No,
Oh.
no, his is entertainment. But he is a Malnati, and I did a show with him when I was 12 or 13 at the Goodman.
Really?
And it was during the summer, so Taste of Chicago was going on, and we got free pizza.
Still never been a taste.
Yeah, it's
It's my favorite. Lou Malnati's is my favorite pizza.
I
though.
will have to say I was really impressed with that pizza.
You can get it shipped.
I know.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that though.
I know. I'm with you.
That's a rabbit hole.
Dangerous,
I don't
yeah.
want to fall down.
It's like I have an addiction to pizza, so I have to stay away.
So, how do you feel about New York pizza?
I mean, I pretty much like all pizza.
No, you can't do that.
I
Cecily,
do. I have
Have you
a
taken
problem.
a pizza tour of New York?
No. I will say, you know what? I did have pizza I didn't like here the other day. And
Are you allowed
I don't
want to
say where it's from because I don't want to.
Is it not Ray's? Or is it an established spot?
It's an established
People
spot.
shit on in Williamsburg, Grimaldi's.
I love that you're looking at me.
Well, because the show's so anemic now, there's only 2 people left.
You better look at Steve for Brooklyn reference.
I don't leave Manhattan.
I've been to Brooklyn 3 times
What is
in
going
8 years.
on?
I mean, there's plenty of shitty pizza in New York, but there's
there's
great
awesome
spots
pizza
too.
here.
Yeah,
It's the best pizza.
but it's not like every
New York.
slice you get is going to be like
Right.
New York City.
See, for me though, it's like as far as the Korean food fair, Chinatown, even soul food, Jamaican spots in Brooklyn. I've
That's what the culture is. So
I've
yeah.
slowed up. I've just discovered that Queens is like I might have to do my next book strictly on restaurants in Queens. Like some of the best restaurants in New York are those family restaurants.
Really?
Yes, in Queens. You got to venture out the city. See, I have a car.
I don't know.
So yeah, you don't have
Sounds
a
like
vehicle,
work.
right?
No.
See, yeah, if you
You need a Maybach.
well, you
Just joking. What? You said car.
anyway.
I got you off track. You were going to say
Yeah,
something
you
about
Well,
Chicago
yeah, I was going
comedians
to
before I
say
brought
about
up-
community,
I
but
brought
yeah,
up
let's just
food.
we often rabbit hole on the show.
Oh,
so.
sure.
Let's go back to Queen. Anyway, you need a car to explore the city for a proper food
I have
tour.
such bad anxiety. I could never drive in this city.
Really?
Well, this is the hardest city to drive in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mother
I'd be
always said, once
terrified
if you
about it.
learn to drive in New York, you can drive
You can
anywhere.
drive anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I feel I can drive anywhere now.
They have the rickshaws now too with the bicycles.
I could probably do
Those
that.
are really expensive.
Yeah.
They're like $15 for
Well, it
15
also-
seconds.
I will never feel okay about a person
It's weird, yes.
acting like a horse to me.
It is weird.
It just it feels like I would, the whole time I'd be apologizing. I'd be asking if I
Not-
could help. It would just make me, it
I'd be
makes
watching
me
the
feel.
meter. The meter.
I was about to
is
say,
moving.
Let me interject. All right, so Laia's clowning me about my swanky car
You
choice
still
because
thinking about that? I was just joking.
I
It's
code
okay.
switch in Philadelphia. I would never let my friends see me in such a swanky car. So I have like my very first Scion, the beat up Scion.
You still got? Oh my god. Okay.
I will never divorce. You never give up your first car.
Okay.
Like I'm keeping that shit forever. I love that car. However, yes, I have a swankalicious car in New York.
Yeah.
Because I got to get around and go to point A and point B. The reason why I got that swanky car was because I learned the hard way, and this is pre-Uber, how cabs really won't stop for people of color. And I was rushing to Penn Station, and a poor rickshaw guy had to take me. And this is when I was like 400 pounds.
P.S.
So-
that was 200 pounds ago, people.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm almost there. I got 60 pounds left. All right, so yeah, 400-pound me and 2 big giant Kipling luggage bags, and the poor kid. I was like, "Are you going to make it to Penn Station in an hour?" Since I got this, and cut to like, like he was. And the thing was, on my Twitter timeline, literally on my Twitter timeline, there was like the narrative of the story. Like, guys, I could have sworn I just saw Questlove inside of a bicycle rickshaw on Fifth Avenue. It looked like him. Yo, dude, I'm on 42nd Street. I just saw Questlove. Yo, dog, I'm on 32nd Street. I think Questlove. You know, and poor guy, like, listen, I missed the train. So it took him that long to haul, like, 500 pounds worth of, yeah. So
What was that tip, Amir? You blessed him, right?
I'm addicted to over tipping.
Okay.
That's one of my, and that's not even a humble brag. Like, I'm one of those people that gets into those, like, you know, the pretty woman. That watch costs $2,000. Oh yeah, I'll buy $95 billion. Like, I'm one of them people that will like defy you. Like, I have money. That sort of thing.
You know, sound engineers accept tips. By the way,
That's what Derek said behind you.
That's what Derek said. Thank you. Steve is our sound engineer at 30 Rock. Anyway, so why is Chicago who dubbed it or who christened it as the comedy epicenter? Like, why does one have to go to Chicago?
Is it Second City? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I think it just sort. I think. Well, there's a lot of theater in Chicago. It's cheaper than New York, and
Is it?
L.A. to live.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like $5 probably.
Oh, my apartment.
Cheaper. $5 cheaper. I mean,
Well, I was living in. It was a weird little artist studio, but it was, and this was a lot of money for me. But it was like $600 a month. My rent.
what year was that?
That was 2008.
Was it the Williamsburg of Chicago?
No, this was Old Town.
Wow.
I don't know the
2008.
section, so like, what would
Yeah.
Old Town be here?
So
Like,
that's
Queens
Oh God,
or-
I would never know. That's where Second City was, but it was like a nice neighborhood. And my first apartment, it was a 2-bedroom. It was big, and it was like we paid $700.
so it was like
I had a roommate.
roommates and-
Yeah, so we each paid.
You gotta check in with your friends. I'm curious if it's gone up. That's interesting.
Can I move
I mean,
there
I'm
now?
sure it's
Right?
it's been a while, but yeah.
There now. So what was your childhood like? Like, what was your come to Jesus moment with flirting with comedy? Because I don't like. When do people finally admit like
I'm funny.
I want to be in comedy? Was it that you wanted to be an actress first?
Yeah,
or?
I did a lot of like straight theater growing up, and I did a lot in Chicago. I did my first professional show, and they were all like dramatic musicals growing up. And then I went to college. It wasn't until college I went to Cal Arts, and I had a teacher. I was doing a scene from Angels in America because when I was 18, everybody wanted to do Angels in America.
So good.
And people were laughing. I was like, I'm
Wait.
being dramatic right now. And then the teacher suggested I take a class at the Groundlings, and that was like, I thought I was funny, but I was also like, but I'm a serious actor.
That's what it is.
So
too.
you
Y'all
really wanted to be
groundlings.
serious, and instead it came off.
Yeah. Well, I think even now, that's how I started. I think like a lot of comedy is just human beings feeling anything can be funny.
That reminds me, speaking of SNL, I didn't realize this until maybe a week and a half ago that Will Ferrell and Kristen Wiig actually did a Lifetime movie.
Yes.
Seriously. Like, they
Yeah,
did it.
I think I remember this.
They did it seriously, but as a tongue-in-cheek
Yeah.
thing to be funny.
Really smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I mean, they're both.
Are they alumni from? No. I'm like,
No, they're
not.
Groundlings.
But see, between Groundlings and Second City,
Bloods and
Chicago-
Crips.
Yo, they got both. So of course, all of these.
Well, I will say, LA, like Groundlings is very character based.
Right.
And Chicago, there's like,
So
people
break
have-
it down to people because somebody's listening who has no
I
idea.
feel
what
like
either.
I'm the worst to break it down, so this will be very simplified. And probably comedy nerds will yell at me. But so LA, Groundlings, it's all very charactery. And then New York, improv is very like fast. It's closer to like what I would think of as like when you hear British comedy or English comedy, And then Chicago does weird. You do like we do slower, artsy, fartsy sometimes. I would say like improv is more Chicago and sketch would be more LA. Okay. And it feels like when you're doing it in LA, you're doing it to get
Apart.
TV jobs. Yeah.
So was there an end game for you in entering Second City? Or pretty much people know that the road that leads to SNL.
I would never have ever said that because I just don't like to set myself up to be let down. I like to set the bar very low. But I was just like, if this is if I get to do like some shows every now and then and at Second City and at IO, if this is like where the top that I get, I'd be happy.
So what is the process? I'm only asking because, oh God, how do I say this? Okay, so I once dated a comedian,
Okay.
and I felt. See, I have
So it was miserable.
I have a relationship with failure, not as an F word, but as a learning experience. And I feel like in your years of comedy, it's almost like if you stay in your comfort zone and only perform for your friends or like this one bar,
Yeah.
you're not going to grow. And kind of had to tell her, like, you have to go, like, stop going to your normal spot where you know your peeps are and go to other spots to see if it works there as well. And was kind of hard-headed about it. And then really got a life lesson. So she went to Second City.
Yeah.
That was her experimental spot that she went to.
She left and went to Second City, and I guess under the hopes of I'm ready, so I know I'm gonna go to Second City, and then in 3 years, I too can be Tina Fey, like that sort of thing, and maybe she's in her 12th year, like.
Oh, you can stay there for like that? You can just chill and.
Yeah, people do.
Because that's, after a while, you getting paid for shows. So yeah, I guess that's your lifestyle.
Yeah, but what I want to know is that when people come, first of all, what is the process of Second City? Is it a school? Is it just like what's the rehearsal process?
Most people, when they say they've done Second City, it's not that they've been on a stage. It's that they've taken a class there or done their own shows there. There's two main theaters. I mean, it could be totally different now. And I was on a touring company for a while, and I did a cruise ship for 4 months with Norwegian.
So a Second City cruise ship?
That was my first job with them, so it was very exciting.
That's dope.
But then it's like you're on this ship for 4 months. You're just like, I was never on land at nighttime, which sounds crazy to say, but I really was like, I just want to have a night on ground. But it's like by 2 months in, I was like, I can't tell if it's prison or vacation. And you're doing like very watered down sketch comedy for.
What's the age range?
It was we poured in New York.
Was it billed as the Second City Players or?
Yeah. Okay. I don't think they have the contract anymore, but it was like the first job most people do at Second City.
So that's the entry level.
Yeah.
Were there any other notable?
So I was on the ship with Alex Moffat, who's
wow.
Yeah.
Yo, his Trump son.
Eric.
That's my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Shit. Like, even when I'll rewatch his facial expressions while everyone. It's some of the best shit I've ever seen.
Yeah,
ever.
those two.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, and so how long was it until? I'm assuming either Higgins or someone discovers you and suggests.
Well, actually, I got hired through IO. So there's a couple of theaters, Improv Olympic, but they have to be called IO. There was like some lawsuit or
they
the
can
Olympics.
only say IO?
You have to say IO, yeah.
Okay.
But it was IO where I did my showcase for Lauren and some of the writers.
So you didn't have to go through the audition process that everyone...
No, I did.
Oh, okay.
But it just was there. Like, they go to different theaters, not because at Second City, it's only the people that are on the stages that'll be seen by SNL.
So wait, this is I'm sorry, I'm gonna ask you like a 5-year-old. So this is a special show that y'all will do because you know that they're coming?
Yeah, and they do it in LA, I think at different theaters. They'll just be showcases, pretty much.
And will it be showcases for SNL or just you?
With people or?
Yeah, for SNL.
Okay. But is it with other people in the audience or just the 7 of them in the audience?
Oh, no, other people.
Okay.
Yeah. My family was there, and I thought I bombed because they were so nervous because they were sitting near Lauren. And so their faces were just like, they were like ghosts. After I was like, wow, that bad, huh?
Did you remember what you did? Like, do you remember your...
I did like a lady from the cruise ship. I did her trying to bring a pineapple on the boat or something. I think I did Sofia Vergara. Nothing great. I don't know. I had never done, like, I wasn't an impressionist really. But it was to get like, I'm going to do something that scares me and just kind of try this out. And I took a workshop on solo characters.
I would imagine that probably the best way to get on the show is to be moldable, to be anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's instead of like, okay, I do a very specific Donald Trump, and then like what happens 4 years
Right.
later if that's out. Like, but you can be moldable to be anything. So I almost feel as though some people go into the process. Like I know people that have tried to go through the process that were kind of stuck in a category in a corner and they weren't moldable.
Yeah.
With you, because I believe
It's malleable. I let this first 2 times I let you get away with it. The third time I'm like, all right, it's malleable, bro.
I thought I just didn't know what he was saying.
no. I wasn't even reaching for malleable.
I'm just playing around, but it's malleable.
Right. I wasn't reaching for malleable. I actually
He was
thought
really saying moldable.
Yeah.
It's not a word.
Okay, sort of like imaginate's not a word either.
Right.
Okay.
It's sort of
thank you.
like 78 other words I hear you say every day that aren't words.
See, the
Okay.
spirit of Bill is always here.
Here we go. Malleable. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I wasn't even reaching for that, but yes, malleable.
All right.
And y'all were just going
I
to
was
let me just
accepting
say it.
moldable.
I thought it was a word that maybe I
Yeah.
don't hear every time. Yeah.
This reminds
a lot of
me.
words in
well,
the
I
world.
appreciate this. This reminds me of the time when the Roots let me go all day wearing a shirt backwards and inside out.
Oh.
So when I got home and went in the mirror, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, shit. And then next day, I was like, yo, why the fuck y'all tell me my shirt was backwards and inside out? And they were like, oh, we thought
Thought
you
you
were
were
trying to
doing
make
a
it.
Different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stay-
Look in the mirror.
So,
Multiple's cool. I'm down. I'll start saying it if you want me to.
no, but I will not. I now know that moldable is not a word.
Good to know they're the same meaning, though. Moldable and malleable, that's the same meaning?
It's not. One's not a word, so then.
Okay, well, you're right. Okay, gotcha.
Let's go back to Chicago pizza.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
anyways, no. Well, what I'm asking is, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't your first show the Mick Jagger season closer? I remember your entry. I remember.
Oh, no. That was Kate who did like 5 episodes of that season, I think.
Yeah, But you did You did. I could have sworn I saw you on a season closer. Like, I thought it was weird that I tweeted out, "Wait, who's this person? I don't know this person." And then someone said, "You, well, when you're not a cast member, what is it called?
The feature player, right?
A feature
Yeah.
player." But when did you come into the show? Was it the tail end of a previous season?
No, it was the start of season 38 of 2012.
Oh,
How
okay.
many seasons? Lord, that's beautiful.
Well, we're on 45 now.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
In a long time.
okay. So you didn't have to go through the process of just being in a room with 7 people, and
No, I still had. So we had that showcase, and then we did like a weird speed dating thing in Chicago, where a couple of us from that showcase went to go sit with the producers and with Lauren and pretend that was normal, and then we got flown out. 80 and I sort of got to go through everything with 80 though,
okay.
which was really nice.
Because I was going to ask you, because Lauren is I don't know him at all. I've been in a room where he is, and he seems like someone who he could be intimidating.
Yeah.
Dog.
So when you first met, because you just said, like, I did speed dating, Lauren was there. But really you weren't intimidating, and how
Oh
did
no,
that
I
go?
definitely was. I couldn't tell you what I said at that table. I remember talking about Trader Joe's.
Really?
That's where I go.
Yeah,
I'm
being
not
like,
going to imitate Lauren right now.
Everybody-
Wait,
I mean, it's
are you
probably
allowed
just 'cause-
to? Okay, this is the tester. This is how I know if a person's cool or not.
Oh no, I'm gonna fail.
Are you allowed to have popcorn?
His popcorn?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone is. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well then, not everyone.
Well, when we have like the meeting in between dress and air, there's a big basket of popcorn.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's showtime. But I'm talking about off-show hours.
He got
I
it
don't-
in his office or something? He keeps it in the office?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's important.
I mean, I'm sure he'd let me just so he wouldn't have to say no. But I
okay.
don't know that I'd go knock on his door and ask for his popcorn.
Okay. I was the type of person.
That's where you went
did that.
wrong, yeah.
No, actually, I brought. Well, I purchased 3 big ass bags of popcorn
For him?
and brought them in Lawrence. That was my first meeting with Lauren.
You purchased.
I went. There was once on 48th Street, like
Okay.
House of Popcorn. They had,
He didn't charge you for his popcorn, though.
no.
Okay,
I brought
just
it.
checking.
He brought his
So-
own just in case he said no.
I brought my own. No, I brought it for him because
Yeah.
I knew that
He likes popcorn.
the popcorn
That was smart.
a big thing. But
Kiss some more ass.
Yeah, I didn't. You better you say it then. But that was great, smart.
It's a good move.
Great move. He's the ass to kiss shit, right? I mean, right? I think the room, we all agree.
so in 8 years, do you feel comfortable now? Is it still tense if you know he's in proximity watching? And I mean, 8 years, you're very established.
No, yeah, I think
do you
it's
feel
more,
established?
I mean, yes and no. Who can ever?
So you always feel like
fully...
there's a hand on the guillotine button, like.
Oh no, I don't feel like he'll fight. I guess it's more about the audience, where I'm like, I still don't know what they find funny. If it's sort of like it's still I don't know what's going to work at dress.
So if some things worked at dress that didn't work on the show and opposite? Or...
Yeah. Or
Okay.
things that like I find very funny that it turns out it's only me.
So how does this work? Because you're a writer, so how often do the things that you write get to be a part of the show? Like, what's the percentage of that?
If it's usually like if there's something on Update, then it's something I've written, and then I've gotten a lot to dress this year and not a lot to air.
What is that? You gotta
Okay,
you
I
gotta break
gotta
that
ask-
down for the dummies.
Okay,
So we get things cut for time.
Okay.
I have a question about the schedule. Because actually, like, he and I sort of follow this schedule. I'll schedule my life during SNL season to sort of coincide with what you guys are doing. So, like, Steve and I will, like, work Saturday afternoons in my studio downstairs in my dressing room. And usually I'll be done in time to go watch the taping.
Yeah.
So...
Usually our schedule is pretty moldable, but around SNL season we try and moldable it so that
That's nice.
Yes.
It's multiple.
Anyway, so I know that from striking up a friendship with Tim Robinson,
Yeah.
when he was writing on the show, he explained to us that you guys do, what, 8 dress or 8:30 dress?
8.
8 dress, which is a longer show.
Y'all are so cute. Dress short for dress rehearsal?
Dress rehearsal.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay.
Sorry. Yes.
You
Not
know.
just for me, just for, there's other
camera
people
block-
listening
yes.
to
I
y'all
know.
talk.
Yeah.
There's 8 o'clock dress rehearsal.
Yes.
You forget.
I know,
That's
he
like,
does
oh,
all-
this is not a normal.
It's not your fault.
Language.
with more sketches in it.
Yeah.
And I guess who is the deciding committee on who makes it or doesn't make it to the final 11:30 show?
There's a room that I've only been in once, and it's the people in that room, but it's Lauren.
Higgins and crew.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there like the high school all right, so what word am I looking for where they place the
Zigazar?
No, the high school where you put the
dunce
tack
hat on?
board or
There is a bulletin board.
a bulletin board.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. So, or is it now with technology? You guys just get alerts of what your what the schedule is.
No, and I wouldn't know how to get that anyway. People have like an app where they can watch their sketches, and I'm blown away by that. Wow. I'll never get it.
Okay.
I just won't know how. I have the burner number, and that's it.
So when the person puts up
Better not to know something.
the bulletin board notice, then you all run like it's high school to see what made it, what didn't make it.
We all go into, it's called a meeting, and we'll get notes, and you just kind of look at it, and you try not to show too much how heartbroken you are when your sketch is on
I was going to say
that side.
Now, again, with failure being the F word or an education process, how should one, in the most non-diplomatic way you can do it without jeopardizing yourself, but like, how should one take failure as a writer or as a person on the show if their sketch doesn't make it to 11:30?
I mean, it's funny. Some hurt more than others, and it's so like embarrassing how much sketch comedy can be so emotional. And Tim and I used to joke because some things get cut during the show. We usually go on a little long, so you may be dressed just like a complete asshole waiting to go. You're like dressed as a pumpkin or something, ready to do your sketch about farts, and then they say over the thing like that's been cut.
No fart.
And you're just standing there like crying, dressed like a pumpkin.
Is that because of overages? Okay, overages. Case in point, I was.
I think that's a word, by the way.
Thank you. I was watching. All right, I was watching a Debbie Downer sketch.
Yeah.
That obviously went way over than its allotted time, but because of the
laughter
and all that
Yeah.
stuff to get to the end, somebody has to get sacrificed.
Right.
So, are sketches based on a specific time, hoping that it doesn't run over, or?
Yeah. I mean, usually if you're like in the last or second to last spot, you're sort of just waiting to hear the whole night. And there'll be time, like during the Chance show, there was an issue with the wires. And I just remember I was dangling there for so long. And I was like, something's getting cut for this.
I was going to say,
While I'm
like,
dangling here, I know something's getting cut for this.
which leads me to the Tuesday night pitch. Now, the thing that I always, and let me explain for our listeners. Higgins on our show, Jimmy Sidekick on our show, is one of the main producers of SNL. So him doing the Tonight Show is sort of like me doing a DJ gig from the Roots. Like, that's his side hustle. He doesn't have to do it, but, you know, it's something to do, and it keeps him sharp comedy-wise or whatever. However, the thing I always ask about Higgins, the thing that I'm most curious about are how sketches are pitched on Tuesday night to whoever the designated host is. How do you do it in such a quickly executed time? How do you explain a sketch that really depends on physicality? Because that Chance sketch that you speak of was really, I mean, what made it hilarious was the fact that you guys were trapped in midair and these wires crashing all over the place.
Yeah.
So how is that conveyed at a table
Well, we
that
don't.
they say, yes, that'll work?
I've never had to do that. We have pitch Monday, but usually that's like you're just meeting the host sort of and seeing what they find funny or just hearing them speak or seeing them for the first time in person. And then we write on Tuesday. And I don't normally talk to the host on Tuesday because I think then they may say like, oh, that sounds fun. And what if I do this? And you're kind of like, oh.
Are they there every day?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're-
from Monday till
yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Now we can bring in the time lapse thing. So
wait, but we will. I just want before we do that. Does that mean that comedian hosts are harder? More
way harder.
Way harder. Yeah.
Okay, so then this weekend would be really hard coming up.
okay, well,
Thank you.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is that Eddie. Okay, we're obviously speaking before the Eddie Murphy, the grand
Yeah.
return of Eddie Murphy to SNL, of which I think that because he's such a maverick at his job, that he would know to sort of go along with the climate of the room, as opposed to now. I was there during the whole Chappelle hosting situation, and once I saw Neil Brennan in the hallway, I was like, oh boy,
Right, because
And
then you forget that
outsiders coming.
comedians bring their own. Oh, my writers. That's
Yeah.
a clusterfuck.
I don't.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I think like this week is actually, I feel like I can kind of sit back because it'll be very much about Eddie. And like, I think that's exciting and what he wants to do. And I'll probably do
I'm
like an
afraid
update.
of that though.
Are you?
Well, what makes, in my opinion, what makes his Dolomite film work is he's actually kind of the straight guy. It's his it's like the planets that the stars that surround and the moons that surround his planet is what really makes that film funny. Like, and he's reacting to
You're right.
off
Because
other
Wesley Snipes makes it fun. Yeah, you're right.
like
Yeah,
other people.
Yeah.
And I think that you guys are on such a roll. Like, I now consider, as an SNL expert, that your era of SNL will be considered like a high mark cast season. The way that we looked at the '98 cast with Fallon and Tina Fey, and the way that people look at the class of '91 or 75. Like, people have specific eras of
Right.
like,
That's theirs.
that was the Chicago Bulls of that. You guys
The
now,
Bears.
you guys now have your own rhythm where
Yeah,
you're comfortable
yeah.
with each other. So I think it would just behoove any host to join the gang as opposed to disrupt them.
I don't know. Eddie might be. What do you think, Cecily? Because I think Eddie,
I mean, I don't know what'll happen, but I assume, I mean, because it's his first time coming back, and he was just
wait, he's
so
never hosted.
no.
84 was the last time he hosted when Beverly Hills Cop came out.
Wow. Okay.
And,
he was-
the first time he hosted was inadvertently when Nick Nolte was the only person to drop out of the show like the Friday before. Like, fuck it,
Really?
I'm not doing this. And so they were like,
Yeah, when he was on the cast. he
yeah.
hosted.
So they're like, well, Eddie, you're in the movie too, so you host it. And that became a game changer for him. Like, so
You really are an expert.
I only know because Soul Train came on at 1 a.m. in Philly. And Soul Train came on right after SNL. So it's like you watch SNL at 11:30 and then 1 a.m. finally Soul Train comes on. But if there were VCR back then, I would have probably just recorded Soul Train and not cared about SNL as much.
Wait. So on that note, just question to you: were you a fan? Were you a Jane Curtin, Gilda Radner? Like,
yeah.
you were all in.
Yeah, I definitely, my mom had me watch like Gilda's show, her Broadway show on tape. I had VHS of like SNL commercials that I wore out pretty much. I liked Tracy. I mean, I watched a bunch of different.
Did you have a
comedy
favorite
growing up.
class, like Amir just said?
I really enjoyed every iteration, I think, up until like you're 18 or whatever, and you're too cool for SNL for a while. When you know,
I'm never
You're busy.
too cool for it.
You're busy.
busy.
Out,
yeah, very busy. Cool, popular, always
The
out.
party gets
at the
started at
clubs.
11:30.
Yeah.
So, okay, I got to bring up two specific, I didn't say Pacific, specific sketches that you did that I felt like were really mind-blowing. One, for the physical comedy, when you do Fox News as Janine
Yeah.
Pirro. I don't care if I mispronounce her
Yeah,
name
we
or
don't
not.
care.
In dress rehearsal, did you go that hard with the spit takes and the falling on the floor?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, I was in the audience, and so to see you, it's one thing watching on television if you're at home watching the angle of it. Mm-hmm. That's one thing, but to see you actually put yourself in physical danger, just like that second fall out the chair. There's two moments where she, well, it's not a double take, but you threw yourself out the chair.
Right. I mean, I had a giant mat.
I know,
And
but
I
even
made
then,
sure to
you
practice
can-
it a lot beforehand. And I was very, like, serious about it. Like, you promised me time to practice throwing myself out of a chair, and I need this time to do that.
You did it on the floor or like elsewhere?
On the floor. Because you only have that. I just needed to see, like, the space, seeing what you can do at that desk.
You nailed it because it's close
my
up
shoe
on you.
flew off on accident.
I thought,
and then I
see?
was like, oh, I got to keep that. So
That-
then I had to try to flick my shoe off at air.
Okay, it was spot on, perfect. But the other thing is, your Barbra Streisand Jingle Bells rendition. Now, as a person whose band member is known for his breath control, the first thing I noticed was that you hardly breathe. All these words. How long do you prepare a sketch, or how long do you prepare bits?
Well, that one, Brian Tucker, I got a text from him at like 2 a.m. with that song, and he said, I just heard this in a cab, and I think this would be really funny if you want to do it. And so then I was like, number one, that's very funny that Brian Tucker is sending me a Barbra Streisand song. And then if I just started practicing, I mean, it was just like, my neighbors probably think I'm insane because I'll just be singing things like that over and over.
It's on repeat, on loop.
Yeah. At
Hours.
nighttime in my apartment. Yeah,
That
instead of
has to be
sleeping.
like
Because I don't
10,000
sleep. Yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell hours. Like, there's no way. like I put it on Spotify myself, and I was like, there's no way that she learned this in less than a month or a year. Like I thought that was something in your repertoire you had forever.
No, it's just when you're a lunatic, I think, and you don't sleep. You've got all those hours in the night.
You are a lunatic. Okay.
Yeah. Cecily, you never took singing like serious?
I mean, I sang.
Because you sing. Great.
But I was never like a singer, no. And there's a lot of singing I can't do.
Well.
So I'm more like, I can do sketch comedy singing.
Speaking of which, what's the determining factor of when you guys warm up the crowd? Is it that, in my mind, I thought that was like, oh, this is when like you're new to the NBA and the freshmen on the new team have to carry all the bags. So when they warm up the crowd, Keenan does his old soul review routine, and usually 3 of the SNL ladies will be his pips. So it'll be like his version of Glass Night and the Pips. And they dress up for it and all this other... And
that's the same
thing.
skit. You never change. They never change.
Well, no. It's just a warm up thing.
Okay, that's what I mean. For the warm up, they always do the same warm up.
Well,
wow.
Yeah, but I mean, the audience isn't crazy like me and be there every week.
Sure.
So
It's
almost,
new to everybody.
Right. It's new to everyone. But what is the process of that? It's like if you're new, you have to sing, or is it like how do you guys negotiate it? Are they told like, well, it's my week to sing, or
No. I did it for 4 or 5 years or something, and then it was, but you sing "Give Me Some Lovin',"
right?
And there was like, I now the newer girls do it, especially because if the cold open is coming, to do that warm up and then to go right into the cold open can be kind of tough. And a lot of times Kate will be wearing crazy prosthetics or something, so then
I was wondering how do you guys run with just 3 seconds left to
right. So it's. But I was definitely like, I am done doing. I broke my foot one year right before the show started, so I got out of warm-ups, and then it was kind of like, can I stay?
I like this. Speaking of out, you were in the coveted anchor chair of Weekend Update.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Birdie. Thank you. And then you. Well, because of you, I guess we now have Michael Che.
Yeah.
But why would you give up such a coveted spot?
Well, I think it was doing it with Seth, who was so established, made it feel like I could just go in and it was already a thing that I just could sort of slide into. And then when he left, it was Colin and I, and it was like, clearly this needs to now, we have to figure this whole new thing out, and it was just like what that would have taken, if that was really exhausting and sort of like, I don't know that I want to spend my time now just figuring out what Update's going to be. So there were a lot of talks with Lauren, and and it wasn't an easy decision necessarily, but it was, I think, absolutely the right one.
So does doing Update require that you really have to have a chemistry with whoever your partner is on the show? And
well, I think it was because he was so new too. So it was like 2 new people trying, and it was just like, I just would rather, I just want to do
seem
character.
more fun. Yeah, seem more fun to do the character.
So you can't do both. You can't do Update and characters.
I think if Seth had stayed longer, I could have stayed longer because it was we didn't have to
hold the weight
make something new. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But is it rare though when we think about it? Like it feels like the folks who always do Weekend Update do the least other stuff, right? Because
Amy did a lot.
right. Well, dang you.
Yeah.
Right, Amy did do a lot.
But I think like once you but just to try to figure out what that new dynamic was going to be, just felt like pretty daunting and exciting, but not what I wanted to do on the show the most.
I see.
He's
Sorry.
like so curious about SNL, man. Like,
I'm gonna get past
It's the
it.
best.
no, I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's a very cute, adorable,
It
childlike
feels very
curiosity.
good to go see a message
No, he sees like so
from
many.
Questlove and it's like there's nothing. I truly am like, it's very flattering and
You
exciting.
can hear him laughing in the audience sometimes on TV.
That's okay. That's
What?
Yeah.
that's okay.
Amir, that's bad.
No, I told them like, don't sit me. The mic that they put me under, but the mic is as close to my seat as the microphone right now that I'm sitting in.
Wow.
And so occasionally Jimmy will hit me like on my thing, like, really? You thought that Harry Potter joke was really that funny, Amir?
Yeah.
Really? Really? Yeah, I always get outed with my laughter, so I try to
Have you done
suppress it.
SNL, Amir?
Here's the weird thing. And speaking of when things get cut, we were weird enough. Always
I
a
see you.
bridesmaid, never a bride.
You and Tariq. Like,
we
I
were
see that.
we were Buster's band. Weird enough, hosted by Donald Trump. We were we were Busta Rhymes' band on his 99 show. I think hosted by damn, why did I fall down this rabbit hole?
It's like woo-ha.
No, that was his Give Me Some More.
Okay.
Period. Okay. Do I really want to try to figure out this host's name?
No. Don't try to figure out. Just tell us what
Oh,
happened.
he's in George of the Jungle.
Which
George?
one? Wait, the last live? Was he a voice? Oh, come on. Don't do this to me. Was he Baloo?
He was also in the movie in which the woman was the devil. She's real sexy. She has an English accent.
Elizabeth Hurley.
Elizabeth Hurley. Yes, you're right.
Huh?
You're
Yeah.
right.
Yes, Brandon Fraser.
Oh,
Thank you.
Okay.
Nice, Derek.
Wow.
Yes. We can play trivia
We got
together.
Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
Get
Brandon Fraser.
I hope you die. I hope you burn in hell.
Right.
I love that movie.
Anyway, so yeah, with the Brandon Fraser show, and then the Donald Trump show, in which we did an album with Toots and the Maytals.
I remember
and
that. Okay.
Gwen Stefani. So
Does he know you want to be in a skit? Because I know Cecily probably knows, and everybody else. Does
I
Lauren
don't-
know? That you
No,
wanna-
my love of the show is actually watching. Two things I love. I love watching the Panic. Whoever your wardrobe lady is, not the
host.
wardrobe.
Yeah, the host.
The one that wrangles.
Dresser. Yeah.
That's my favorite thing to watch. Like to watch her grab after monologue's done. She will grab you by the collar and the next.
Donna.
Yeah, that to me, watching the machine run is my favorite shit ever. Also,
Which is still on some VIP shit, because unlike other shows, SNL ain't the kind of show where you can be like, yes, can I get on the list for next month's show? Okay. I just
however,
meant regular
my
people.
second favorite thing is I love throwing off the audience clap when it's time for the end. So the band will
You
try to
do.
teach them
Yeah.
all the time. If they're ever off,
Watching the band,
you know
just
that
so disappointed in the audience every night.
it's not the audience. It's not the
They're
audience.
really-
It's me.
Oh, because it's a
They're supposed to
Right,
be
but it just like speeds up. I know.
Right.
They go so fast.
I'm the
in the
guy.
audience.
I'm the one in the audience that's speeding up the clap, knowing that the 9 people
my
next to
God.
me. Oh, I love.
So
doing
what are
that.
you doing, Amir?
Wow.
I'm sitting in the audience and I'm speeding up the clap, knowing that 13 to 14 people next to me are going to speed the clap with me, and then so on and
They
so on
already
and
on the
so
1
on.
and the 3.
And then I mess it up. Every time it's messed up, you know,
Now I'll know.
you know to look up in the balcony and be like,
I
yeah.
gotta tell the band.
No, don't do that, please. Please don't do that. All right, my last question is that most people use SNL as a springboard to other careers. Where actually now, being on SNL is actually a cool end game.
Yeah.
I mean, Keenan's on his 20th year, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow, has
For-
it been that long for Keenan?
yeah, but it works for him.
Straight from Good Burger, just pew.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a genius.
Yeah, but that's amazing.
He's made for it.
it works for him. Like, and so, but I mean, I'm certain that people had like, well, you know, Eddie Murphy did it, Sandler did it, you know, Tina Fey did it. Like, for you, do you have a vision board? And I'm not asking for like, this is your last year, but do you have a vision board that you might consider like, okay, the end of this particular sentence will happen this particular year, and then I'm going to develop either this show or direct this movie or write.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's always, there's a lot of things I'd like to be doing. Some things you can do at the same time. So it's sort of, it'll just depend on when it feels right to go. But there's a lot of things I'd like to be doing, like a lot of different things. I think I brought up a project to you once that I wanted you to do that I'm still hoping.
Are you? Oh, we're propositioning each other now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the king of yes, and then Steve laughs at me like, when are you going to fit this in your schedule?
Can you be the king of follow-up?
The schedule is
Right,
always
right.
tough. Yeah, and
It's the worst. Yeah. So do you plan your summers early? Like, are you I
it's
need
so
to be charged for
hard
summer?
because
or have
so
to
many
do this
things
move?
fall apart. I mean, in this industry, you think you're doing one thing, so then you don't plan for something else, and then that falls apart. So it's really just like it's very frustrating. And then to know that I'm taken from September to May, that's really tough. So that'll sort of be the deciding factor.
If there is an important enough offer, are you given leeway to take this week off and then?
I think now they've been more lenient. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud, but it seems like it that they're letting us sort of do that a little bit more. To have
That's some seniority kind of.
yeah, and I think I think he likes having an established cast and having people that know each other, and it's sort of like if that's how to keep people, that maybe is the way to go.
Well, it's like Martin Scorsese's like, I gotta have you as De Niro's daughter in The Irishman. Can you do it these 3 weeks?
I think then Lauren would make me. I would
Oh,
have
okay.
to.
That's what I was saying. Okay, cool. Oh, one last thing. I was there when you did the last. I say the last White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Oh yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was terrifying because they asked me in August or something, and it's not till April. So I had like months to doubt myself and think about failing. But it was like, again, I'm a big Obama head, and it was like I just and everyone was like, don't do it. Nobody you never win. You don't win in that room. The best you can do is break even. But I was like, but it's Obama, so I have to do it.
Wait,
Chicago-
regular
Chicago.
people or
No,
industry
like
people?
industry people.
Really?
Yeah. We're definitely trying to talk me out of it.
I don't
It's
think
like,
people remember that. People just remember that you did it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
or unless you really want to make a mark like Michelle Wolf and like really lay the
Yeah.
gauntlet down. But
There
no,
was a
I thought
few-
it was great.
There was a few in the past that really killed it, but now did you say it? I'm like, I can't even remember who it was that killed it. So yeah, I mean,
yeah.
it's right.
Well, I think
As long as you
Colbert
do it.
had a big one.
Yeah. Which one was the year that Obama rapped?
I don't know, but Keegan was there.
That was the
when
one.
I was there.
That was
and
a-
that was like, oh, great.
That was
right
that-
before I go on.
Yeah. Oh, that was the same one. Oh,
Yeah.
that was a good night then.
It was a
remember
good
the
one.
both
Yeah.
of
I thought it was excellent. I
Yeah.
thought it was tasteful.
It was
So-
it was cool, and it was the first. It was I brought like 15 people, my entire family, and my grandfather and grandmother on Arlington National Cemetery, Colonel Cecil Strong, and it was the first time I went with my dad to his parents' graves. So that
Nice.
it was a very emotional trip as well.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you made that decision and not to listen to anyone that helped you talk to yourself out of a great opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always going to take the chance to sit next to Michelle Obama.
That's a small group of people who have
Yeah.
been asked to do that. So that's a big honor.
That's
dope.
great. Well, Cecily, I thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you so much for having
and
me.
molding.
Being
Those are-
moldable.
We looked it up. Moldable's an actual word. Sorry.
Wow.
Thanks again, Derek. In the clinch.
Derek, man, you come through in the clutch, man.
You about
Thank
to get that tip.
Thank you.
Todd Rundgren would be very mad
Shut
at me.
up, Steve. All right. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you coming to the show.
I'm so happy.
And,
Thank you.
Yes.
You're definitely one of my favorite players, and I appreciate you enlightening our audience. All right, kids, that's another episode of Questlove Supreme. On behalf of Laia, Sugar Steve, the Spelling Steve is your new name. Unpaid bill. I guess one of these days, Lin Lin-Manuel Miranda will let you come back to
Right?
work. And Fontigolo, I hope you don't get, the throat cancer with the cigarettes. Hopefully you'll come back. This is Questlove, and my fault. How you doing, Boss Bill? I hope we did you proud. We will see you.
We didn't.
We will see you next week on the next round of Questlove Supreme. All right, iHeartRadio.